Hello, guys. Welcome. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. All right, guys, new month today, new monthly candles, new week. So, fresh from the long weekend. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving weekend. So, guys, a very bullish day, especially for the tech today. Very, very bullish for the tech and the semiconductors. That's how we nailed a lot of the longs and a lot of bunch of analyst upgrades today. So we traded a bunch of upgrades today. That's what we will talk about, how to trade the analyst upgrades. That's the most important here, and we will talk about that. Before we do that, just a quick introduction. All these teachings and trade recaps are either from anything I share on Twitter, X, on YouTube with you guys in previous videos, or mostly from my community. We trade a repeatable system. My repeatable system, thousands of traders use across the world to trade consistently. I've been teaching this system and all my teachings for free on Twitter for many, many years. You can go to Ripster Education free website and check it out and see how it has changed many lives. Anyways, so we use repeatable system, repeatable setup every day. We have a game plan. In front of you, you can see the game plan. We have news plays, marketplace, earnings, upgrades, downgrades, breakout watches, right? Everything has a support and resistance and an initial game plan, and we trade with our repeatable system, Ripster EMA Cloud system, and the new MTF Cloud system. In addition to that, we also have something called day 2, day 3 setups. These are usually repeatable setups based upon day 2, day 3. So we'll talk about a few of those: CrowdStrike and ADSK, day 2, day 3 setups. It's a repeatable strategy. Also have a webinar in the community, how to play those. I did that free webinar as well on Twitter. So in addition to that, we also have market plays, which are the daily plays on SPY, QQQ, IWM, Netflix, Boeing, Amazon, Meta, all those. We provide support levels, resistance levels, and we provide, and you can use the EMA Cloud system to trade these long or short based upon these levels. Today, Apple, Microsoft, AMD, NVIDIA, everything based upon these levels, resistance pivots, worked out pretty nicely. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about AVGO, and other longs in the community recaps as well. So I'm usually on voice first few hours of market open in my community. I'm sharing my live screen. I go through all the plays that I'm watching, guiding the community through the market analysis, market long or short, which stock is a good setup, which ticker is a bad setup, guiding the community through all that. Our community is a one-stop shop for everybody to come trade in. We are not an alert service. We have all the tools you need for trading. We have 5-6 option scanners, stock scanners, everything on live stream. We have news alerts, breaking alerts. You can see there this guy, PA just traded a news alert from $11 to $15 because we provide all those tools for the community. As a family of traders, everybody can come and trade together. Anyways, that was just an introduction about me, about our community, and let's start with the recaps, and hopefully you can learn something today that you can implement in your trading tomorrow. Let's start. All right, we're going to start with our usual SPY QQQ, the market. So, a lot of traders just trade SPY QQQ for a living. As you know, I have done that webinar as well in the past. There's a webinar you can watch. So how to trade SPY QQQ living, and we just use those concepts I teach every day to you in past YouTube videos from last 1.5 year. 9:30 trend amateur concepts, 10 AM concept, VIX concept, inside outside candle concept. So there's all repeatable concepts that you can use to trade. Something important today that we're going to discuss is that SPY was actually weak and was choppy. Although we were long SPY as well, but we cut SPY, but we held the QQQs all day because it's important to understand the sector analysis. What makes S&P and what makes QQQ? Why is QQQ stronger? QQQ is heavily based upon tech, semiconductors, the cloud stocks, right? And those were strong today. S&P has a lot more names. Finance is a big part of S&P. That was weak. That's why I teach every day that when you are trading, you make sure you watch your heat map. You can go to finviz.com, free heat map that tells you that banks are weak, capital markets are weak, financial, insurance are weak, real estate is weak, aerospace. A lot of all those S&P they're weak, and you can see the tech was strong. So when we know this, when we watch this, we have an understanding where the money is flowing, where we can make money, what we can trade. So it's very important to understand that. To do that every day, you watch this S&P heat map. You track SPY. I have built this tracker that tells me which sector is strong, which sector is weak. I can tell. It's easy to build. I don't have time to explain how to build it. You can watch my other videos. I covered that there. So you can build a tracker like this, or you can track the market using the the heat map that will help you, or you can look at your broker as well. It provides that. There's also many free websites that provide that, tells you this is a trading terminal. It tells you what sector is strong. You can see that technology, consumer, discretionary, communication services, these are strong, right? So this tells you, this is a nice website, tradingterminal.com. You can use finviz.com, but you need to understand that what sector is strong, right? Is Bitcoin strong? Is crypto strong? Is S&P strong? Is Nasdaq strong? And for example, all the hype names today were weak, right? Like rocket stocks, space stocks, NNE, SMR, which were nuclear energy stocks. Those kind of no revenue, just craze, the stocks which run on the craze, right? They were weak today, and the investors were buying the Magnificent Seven, the big names. Finance was weaker, but some of other stocks were stronger. So that's why I have different watch lists that I keep handy. I have Cathy Wood stocks, banks, cyber stocks, solar. You see, solar was strong today. We longed First Solar today. We'll talk about that. SaaS, cloud names, fast foods, restaurants. So I did do that. So I have built all these watch lists so that I can track the market in a better way, because if I'm able to understand which part of the market is strong and which part of the market is weak, I can make better trading investing decisions, whether I'm doing a day trade, swing trade, or whatever I'm doing, I can make better decisions. So today we understood that there's money being made in QQQ, so we stuck with QQQ, and that's how we were long on. I guided the folks long on Meta, Microsoft, the tech, Apple, the semiconductors. We will cover all that. So hopefully you understand this part. And let me show you now my timestamp guidance. I cannot show you like what I speak on the voice, but I can definitely show you that what we were doing here. All right, let's see. So as you see, as soon as the market opened 931, I gave the long on SPY and I gave the long on QQQ. So SPY, I was looking for this breakout, all-time highs. If you look at the daily chart, it's an all-time high breakout. QQQ, I was looking for the pre-market high breakout as well. But as soon as I started to see the move, I could tell in first 7 minutes. In the first 7 minutes, I could tell that QQQ is much better than SPY, right? So the focus will be QQQ. Although we were still long SPY, but we had a 512 stops on SPY. You can see that. I told everybody to put their stops on 512s, but QQQ is better, and that's why I focus on QQQ, add some QQQ, and there was a flag that I tweeted as well, and where you can add a second time at 9:45. Let's see if I can show you that, and that will be. And I gave the QQQ. I told the traders to trade 512s if they want. I guided them that they can trade 512s. Most of my community know these things. The old traders, they know my teachings. They're already long. We have pretty good track record with the trading QQQs, and you can trade SPX, QQQs, leverage ETFs. You can trade futures. It's just the same teachings, right? So you can see that how when I talked about this setup, I said bullish open, QQQ much stronger, semis leading, right? So I covered all that. So I already knew that, and that's what I was guiding my community live, right? So once we started to push, I told them hold. I said 10 a.m. hold, and you're free to add more. 512. 100%. When you pull back, you add more, you roll. I gave a 515 target, and 515 went 100%. So literally, if you were trading with $1,000 today, you could easily make $2,500 if you were patient with your QQQ trade. And you cut SPY trade, that's fine. You take a little bit loss there, or you just keep it a small position because it's weaker than QQQ. You can look at the candles. So SPY was not really worth trading today, but QQQ was worth trading today, because just like I explained how to to do a sector analysis and understand what was strong. And that's how you find out that yes, tech is strong and they have a bunch of news that we'll go through. That's where the money is, and that's what you long. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, so now I'm going to talk about, go a little fast here, but I want to talk about Apple first. So just like I discussed, right? So the tech was strong, but Apple, there was a bunch of reasons on Apple. If you look here on our game plan, Apple had an upgrade. UBS, no, these are not the tier one, they're not the top tier analysts, but regardless, they're upgrading it. Tech is strong, and Apple, you can see this is a nice little breakout here on the weekly chart. So it's an up. Apple is a all-time high weekly breakout, and the levels I gave were clearly breaking out. 237, 238. VIX was weak. Tech, QQQ was strong. SPY was relatively stronger, not holding up, at least not selling off. So Apple was really, really good long, and that was mostly Apple was. I didn't guide too much on the Apple. Most of my traders in the community were already long. Raga was on top of Apple since morning. Beautiful call out. Krish was on top of it. Vo alerted the Apple long. So so it was a beautiful trade, right? So we already know. So you can trade QQQs, or you can trade Apple, or you can trade other names. So just wanted to recap the Apple longs in the community, which was really, really very nicely done by everybody. So one that I was really focused on and guiding my community was Microsoft, right? So let's see what was happening with Microsoft. You see MTF Clouds right here on Microsoft, and we didn't really have any news on Microsoft, but the tech was strong, SPY was strong. Microsoft actually a pretty nice daily chart setting up here, but I saw a lot of flow coming in. There was a lot of flow coming in on Microsoft, and right around this area when QQQ was flagging, when you saw my tweet here on QQQs, when this was flagging, so Microsoft was flagging, so they were doing the same thing together, and that's what I mentioned on the voice, that Microsoft is flagging and still a good long. That's what I told everybody, and your stops under 512 or this candle lows, and it was a yesterday highs breakout and then a flag breakout, and I guided my community with the first target of 430, and then 432 was my next target, and I even gave this curl guidance, and it was a long all day until the end of the day, and I think it's still long if it holds 430, but that was a solid move, and you need to watch the option flow to make money on this kind of plays. And you can see that Microsoft was a 423, 423.68. The pivots were broken. QQQ strong, tech is strong, and a lot of things that these I'm saying on the voice. So about that flow is coming in, 430 calls in coming in. So I'm repetitively explaining that why something can go higher and guiding the community. So Microsoft, beautiful long win for the community today. So another one which was good today was Meta. So Meta was same thing, right? So Meta was also flow coming in. It was breaking the pivot levels that we gave in the pre-market. QQQs, here's the Meta levels. You can see that right here, 578, 576. And QQQ was strong, and Meta flow was coming in. And you can just look, see what all the traders in the community are focusing on. Booty was on top of it. Meta, Mikshu, a lot of the community was all on top, because we know these concepts when we play the marketplace, when there is a super strength in tech and everything. So Meta, and we know that Meta was actually like a day 2, day 3 play, because Zuckerberg went to Trump a few days back, and it had held the strength. So just want to recap quickly. Let's go to the next one. All right, so let's talk about a few of these, our swing and longs today. So semiconductors was long today. First of all, semiconductors were long, and all day semis, SOXL was an all day strength, all day long. NVIDIA was all day long. NVIDIA was not all day long. NVIDIA was morning long. It gave up, but all the other semiconductors were pretty strong. AVGO was pretty strong. ARM was pretty strong all day. Look at the MTF breakouts here on all the semiconductors. ARM breaking MTF clouds. SOXL breaking MTF clouds. AVGO pushing towards MTF, breaking over 1 hour cloud. So that means they're turning 1 hour bullish, and now daily is turning bullish. So you can see that, right? And I even mentioned all that here, that we are strong semis and swing target. We will talk about the swings, and so because when tech is, you can trade anything, right? We made like couple 100% on QQQs, but my teaching in the community is when market is bullish, you can trade everything, use the levels and use those pivots and trade anything long that you like, right? So let's talk about some of these swings that we took, right? So what was SOXL swing, right? If SOXL swing was 25, I gave this swing. If we go into our swing setups, I even tweeted about it, right? So I gave these all these swings last week when we were right here, dipping towards 25, risk versus 25, SOXL, AMD was versus AMD swing was versus this 134 level right here. We stopped out that day and then we longed back again that same day and we got back long on that. And NVIDIA was the same long, bouncing from 1 2 3 4. These are all, guys, these swings are all these three swings are similar setup that we can repeat for lifetime, right? All these swings are support bounce swings, right? So let me show you. Okay, so let's see. So this is when I mentioned the SOXL idea. You see that when we're coming to 26, this is when I mentioned it, and you can see that from that idea we kept on pushing. We pulled back a little, gave us a second chance to add, and now that swing idea is nicely green, right? So look at the AMD. So what do you see on AMD swing? Let's look here. So just want to show you the AMD chart first. Yeah, right here. So this was my idea, 120 and 130 risk. This was the idea I gave. This is called a support bounce swing, right? So that was a support bounce swing, and look at what's happening to AMD now, before and after, right? 130, 132, it gave you that swing, once and twice. Even the first time it gave us $4 or $5, and this time it's given us $10, right? We added that day, so it was going nicely. And same swing was for NVIDIA. Right, so you can see that why you could see my NVIDIA trade that I gave back in the breakout was amazing breakout right here on NVIDIA. So you can see that we bouncing from 1 2 3 rejections, 3 4 bounces, again easy peasy. Your stops are there. I even gave this risk level here, and today NVIDIA bounced from that level in towards 140s, right? So you can see that where it's coming from, and the NVIDIA swing is already up nicely, pushing towards 140, right? So you're already in money. You're not going to lose money, right? You can trade option swings. I prefer stock swings, but AMD and all these were really, really nice longs for. So was the day trade, right? Because we have all day, we have these chips on our watch list. You could literally long ASML. I was on voice. I love ASML. I posted ASML as my swing watch versus 645, 650. It's already up way higher since I mentioned that. Then we have Qualcomm, AVGO, ARM, Taiwan Semi, SOXL. We trade them every day. Every day we trade them, but only if the tech is strong and the semiconductors are strong. We long them, we short them, but today was day to long the semiconductors. So just like I discussed, the market, the sentiment, you need to know that so that you can take advantage of these moves. So we were profitable today. I especially was profitable on my swings. I didn't do much day trades on these, but the traders in the community definitely did good on AMD. I gave the 142 target. Then there was MTF breakout on AMD. NVIDIA day trade did not work. It gave up, but I definitely guided everybody through the AMD, the longs on the day trade, right? Beautiful move. So hopefully you guys learned a lot about the market sector analysis for the swings and day trades. Let's move to the other focus place. All right, let's go to the next one. So next trade for us was coin. Let's look at coin. I gave a long when I started to push right here. I said MTF breakout, the stops are at 298 and 300. As soon as it started to move, you move your stops up, you move your stops under the clouds or under the 300. First target was 310, second target was 307, the second was 310. We hit our 310 and we were hoping for this flag breakout, but too much resistance here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. You see how much selling is there. Finally it broke out. We got out under 308. but nice, very nice trade for us from 302s, 302.50s to 310s. Beautiful trade today. Could have gone higher, but we're happy with what we did. If you go back, if you see the pre-market planning, it was pretty simple. The profit target was raised to Goldman Sachs. I said only long 512 curls. This was the resistance. This was the support. Now, this is an analyst upgrade trade. When Goldman Sachs says something, the stock moves. JP Morgan says something, stock moves, especially if they are not reiterating and it's a new coverage, and especially if the strong stock is at a strong technical breakout level. It always helps with that move. That's why we were long on the coin. That's why you need to focus on analyst upgrades and downgrades. If the analyst is tier 1, you see the volume, the Ripster clouds are bullish, you long it. No questions asked, you long it. That's why I was long on the coin today. That's why we made profit on the coin today. And that's our repeatable strategy. We can repeat again and again. No hindsight, no BS, pre-market planning, all the guidance in front of you. Hopefully you guys learn from this. So now we're going to look at the other side of the coin, on the downgrade. So UPST was one of those today. You see UPST is gapping down. So it was on our plan. What was our plan today? Our plan was pretty simple on UPST. JP Morgan downgrade. You see, I highlight the main plays. I highlight them because I know when Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan say something, the stock can move. And UPST was already moving. UPST was already moving. That's why I was high watch, and I already gave the guidance in the pre-market, bearish bias to short the pops, cloud pops, right? If no pops, then you make a judgment call and take short right away. And that's what I did right away. As soon as I saw the weakness, I knew it's heavy. I told everyone, short it, just short it. If you are not able to get good fill, that's fine. Even a further fill is okay. You can always size smaller, but you can see UPST on the right away flushed on the first 3-minute candle, gave you a good entry here at $72. Your stops at 74, went on to drop till 67. You made $5, you risked $2. That's a good risk reward. Here's, I said short versus 75. 69 was my first target. That was my MTF clouds. And then 68 was my second target. We met 68 as well. 70p went 100%. Then we finally I sent a call long alert right here, and that's when we exited, and it did give like $1, but then it rejected the clouds and stayed bearish and failed the curls. That's fine, when clouds are close, so that's always happens. But the point is, UPST was a short, puts went 100%. You could easily risk 200 and make $800 on this trade. Repeatable setup, tier 1 guidance, analyst downgrade, EMA Clouds bearish, high volume gapper down, repeatable setup, pre-market planning, time-stamped guidance, no BS, no hindsight. Let's go to the next one. All right, so next one we're going to look at is, let's look at First Solar, okay? So again, the First Solar was same thing. First Solar was the same thing. First Solar was an upgrade by Piper, but this one was not tier 1. It was an upgrade, but more than upgrade, it was trading close to 200 psychological level, and it was trading close to the MTF breakout level. That's why First Solar was our focus. And then when it was flagging, I was on voice. I told everyone it's flagging, it's about to break out. And then First Solar broke out. I gave the 212 targets and pushed towards that, and also gave a repeatable 3450 bounce at the end of the day. You can see that, and a lot of community was on top of First Solar all day today. And you can see RGV guiding everybody through First Solar. Beautiful, beautiful trade. You can see that flag breakout that we are talking about, exactly what I'm showing here. So that was a beautiful trade. Analyst upgrade, 200 psychological level, MTF cloud, flag breakout, so many things. So hopefully you earned that. And one thing I want to cover is that you want to see that some of the trades like Hood, Hood was Goldman Sachs profit target increase, right? Okta, some of them didn't do anything because there was not much volume. Okta already gapped up, even though it was a tier 1 long, but it already gapped up. There was not enough volume. Maybe the daily chart was not good. There was no setup. right? There was no setup. The technicals didn't show me to work with the tier 1 upgrade. So we need to understand that hood had an upgrade. Yes, it did go on the second bounce. It did bounce, right, from 37 to 38. But I'd rather focus on First Solar, UPST, and coin rather than this low range stock, which is kind of choppy. So understand how the analyst upgrades, downgrades work. That will be really, really helpful for you in repeatable trades going forward. All right, so next one we're going to look at is Boeing. So Boeing was a long today. This was also mostly my voice guidance, because Boeing we have on our Boeing is our play every day, right? So we are always trading Boeing. We are always on top of Boeing. This is always, I mentioned the long. Let's see here. So you can see that Boeing was on our level was 156.21, 157.50, and Boeing was strong. Last 2 days it broke over MTF cloud, so it was bullish, and today it was giving me a nice breakout setup on the 1 hour chart or 10-minute chart, and this was the breakout setup that it was giving me. I already mentioned it, that right, and then I also mentioned at 10 a.m. that BA long, you see I was already gave the long to the community that it's about to break out, right? And as soon as it broke out, boom, right, and it pushed into 115.59. I gave the final target 161. We met 160. That was it, but it was a definitely good winner in the community today. All right, let me quickly recap a couple of day 2 setups. I was too focused on the news play, but I want to talk about those who do not know our day 2 setups. Some of the day 2 setups, for example, CrowdStrike was our day 2 setup, right? Profit target was raised, 340 resistance pivot. It was bearish, but it gave a long middle of the day. That's when it pushed over 34.50. That was a long setup that we talked about in the community. ADSK was a day 2, but it was a failed curls, right? But it was a failed curls, did not do any. No, sorry, ADSK was a long day 2 long here, right here. Why? Because it has been holding the 50 MTF clouds all day long, and this is where you long for the day 2 setups. These are the repeatable setups, guys. This is one of my other repeatable strategy, which is amazing strategy, stress-free strategy. I'm showing you 2 examples. That's why we provide these day 2 setups to the community every day, so that they can trade it, they can manage that and use that to trade, right? So workday did not give any setup, but the best setups, watch my previous videos, you will understand how to trade these day 2, day 3 setups. If you look at my day 4 setups, today TTD and Roku, they just went crazy on that day 2, day 3 setups, because it was a day 4. Roku was MTF breakout, and TTD was pushing over the MTF clouds as well. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow.